What is Georgia week like for you as a Georgia guy?
It's probably like any other week. Another game, another opponent that we gotta face off against on Saturday. So I'm just treated like every other game. Come prepared like throughout practice, making sure I do what I gotta do, my assignments, making sure I'm lined up right and doing my job.
How involved were they kind of in your recruiting?
They was involved a lot. They recruited me all the way up to almost signing day. So yeah, Georgia recruited me hard.
Did you grow up a Georgia fan? Did you have a lot of family members that were Georgia fans?
Nah, the only person I knew was probably a Georgia fan. Probably was my brother. But I ain't really got grow up a Georgia fan. I mean, I watched him play, but like, I wouldn't say I was like a real fan or nothing.
Is your brother still a Georgia fan?
Probably. You know, I mean, I go here, he's still gonna root for us, but like, he a Georgia fan though.
You okay with that?
Yeah, I mean, that's my brother.
Did you have any strong feelings about their program growing up or even now?
Yeah, they got a good program over there. Kirby Smart, good coach. He making sure it's a good program over there. Even when I was growing up, they had a good program.
How important is it for South Carolina to kind of reestablish having success against Georgia? It's been 4 years, you hadn't beaten them in 4 years, and it really hadn't been competitive for the last several years.
I mean, it's important. Just like any other game, you want to get the W. So that's really about it. Yeah, it's very important to get like the win on Saturday.
How much does rushing from the defensive tackle spot open up for you?
Just maybe more versatile. So I can rush on the edge, I can rush inside. It's just helping me look better on film and stuff like that.
Growing up, did you do a lot of interior rushing? Or?
Yeah, in high school I played D tackle, and somewhat like my senior I played a little end, but kind of in like a 3-4 scheme. So I kind of was like a D tackle, if you want to say that. Yeah.
How much does that experience kind of help you with what you're sometimes being asked to do now?
It helped me with just staying like low leverage. You know, playing D tackle in high school, I kind of took on some double teams. I learned how to play like a double team in high school, stuff like that. So they kind of helped me with like just in case if they get the first down on the third down, I can stay out there, play the run just in case they try to run it. But other than that, I feel good about it.
Where's your weight at right now?
Probably like 250, 240, yeah, 250.
When you guys went back and watched that Kentucky film, when you guys got graded out, I mean, what were some of the keys, though, that helped you guys have that success?
Practice. Everybody came ready to practice that week. Like, I mean, we all was focused, making sure we was aligned right. Everybody was like on the same page. We was like focused that week, play hard.
In terms of just the communication and just being on
Yeah.
the same, like how much of that? Because we've seen plays this year where you guys are in position, and then just one missed tackle or this or that. How much of that has just gone back to just being in the right spot, especially before the snap?
Very important. Like communication is very important, especially for defense, because we play off of each other on defense. That's how I like to. That's how really any defense is. You play off each other. One person in this spot, the other person got to be in that spot. So we just made sure we did that.
You mentioned practice. How beneficial is it to have an extra week to get ready for a team like Georgia?
It's very beneficial. You can do a little extra work on just yourselves, work on things like the little things. That's really what we was focused on. The bye week, just working on the little things, working on ourselves, and getting ready for Georgia.
Did you get to watch the Georgia-Tennessee game, man? Did you watch it a little differently than you watch a normal college game?
Yeah, I was watching. It was pretty. It was straight in the beginning, but then it just, yeah.
What stood out with them in that game, especially their offense?
You talking about like Georgia, right? Like their offense was stood out. They get the ball on the perimeter a lot with stretching. They run a lot of stretch plays. They run a little speed sweeps with the receivers they got. They got some fast receivers. Got a good running back. I just seen a lot of like people getting. If you keep your head in the gap, you should be straight. Like just people just not having their head in the gap sometimes, and that's really about it. But they're a pretty good team though.
Are they a team that can kind of manufacture a power running game despite not doing a lot of two back and two tight end stuff?
Yeah, they can, because in fact they got some big boys, like they got some big offensive linemen, so that's what they try to do, impose their will with the run game. So yeah.
Watching them, did you come away with more of they're really, really good, or I see some places that we can make some plays and we can do some things we can succeed?
Yeah. I mean, they're a good team, but every team has a weakness, so you feel me? So we gonna get prepared for it.
In your opinion, how big is this in the SEC East race?
It's very big because Georgia's a team on the East that on the way to get to Atlanta, you gotta beat Georgia, everybody in the East and stuff like that. So
Aaron, what's this defense have to do to be better at limiting explosive plays?
we gotta tackle better, communication, just getting lined up, like I said again, communication is a big key for us.
What about taking kind of through what goes into communication on the defense?
Just with, for instance, our safeties, they got to line, they got to make sure, because they see everything.
Right.
So they got to make sure everybody in the right spot sometimes. So they communicate with the DBs, then DBs communicate with the linebackers. The linebackers communicate with the D-line, like a trickle-down effect.